Hello there, I'm Heather, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. This is Beginner Yoga for Bigger Bodies, Building a Loving and Supportive Practice, Class 1. And today's class is all about no judgment, no expectations, just yoga. We're just gonna start. We're just gonna begin, because that's all you can do each and every day is begin. So let's do that. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to make sure that you have everything you need in order to support your practice, right? Your yoga practice. So a mat, if you don't have a yoga mat, that's totally fine. Use a carpet or a rug or grass. That works fine too. You're going to want to have a nice thick blanket that you can fold that has a little bit of width to it. We're going to use this for elevation and cushion. Should never practice yoga without a blanket. You're also going to want some props, okay? If you don't have yoga blocks like these, fear not, it's totally fine. You could use 2 peanut butter jars or 2 pasta sauce jars. Even those disinfectant wipe canisters, those like plastic ones, use those. Those are a great height. It really just needs to be something you can put your hands on top of that gives you a little bit of height and brings the floor to you, right? So there's the difference between hands being on the floor, hands being on the props. It lifts you up. This is gold, okay? Having this height, it's going to make your practice so much more deeper, richer, fuller, and so much more supportive and loving. So I like to use little yoga gloves. These are called yoga paws, and I use these to help keep my hands from slipping. You can find these on Amazon or yogapaws, I think .com is the website. I've always really struggled with my hands slipping whenever I'm doing downward facing dog. So this gives me some good grip on the palms of my hands, so my hands aren't slipping on the mat. If you want to get these, great. If not, don't worry about it. I have a couple other recommendations and suggestions for how to keep your hands from slipping, because I know that's a big one. So once you have everything set up, maybe have some water nearby, maybe use a little essential oils. I like to put lavender on my pulse points. And I also like to take some eucalyptus and put it underneath my nose or on my chest, maybe sprinkle a little on the mat if I'm feeling a little bit congested. You'll find out what works for you. I know what works for me because I've been practicing yoga for a while now, and you will too. Okay, so first things first, yoga. Yoga. I know when we think about yoga, a lot of different things come to mind. Typically, tall, blonde, thin, toned, super fit, in the cutest little yoga outfit you ever have seen, doing handstands and headstands and like these crazy balances. That's not all that yoga is. There's so much more to yoga than just the cutest, hippest, newest trend when it comes to yoga, okay? Yoga is about healing. The word yoga means to yoke, to be in union with, to be in union with yourself, to be in union with God or Allah, the divine force, source, the goddess. Whatever you identify with, it's communion, it's union, right? I like to think of it as every time I roll out my mat, I am giving myself the gift of love. And I know that sounds corny, but it's true. It's the gift of time and space to tune into myself, become intimate with my innermost desires and thoughts and wants and needs. Oh my gosh, my innermost needs. It's that time that I've gifted myself to commune with myself, to be in union with me, right? Ooh, self-love. It is a hard thing. It really is. But yoga makes it so much more accessible and easy to come into that loving, supportive space, right? No one is going to love you or support you as best as you can do that, or as good as you can, right? We get to be that companion, that partner, that support, that lover, that that mother. We get to be that for ourselves. And yoga is the time to do it. Sorry, I always get a little emotional when I think about that, because before I practiced yoga, I never gave myself time. I never loved myself. I never supported myself. I never listened to myself. And I'm just so grateful that the time and space I gift myself with this mat, I'm so grateful for it. Okay, woo, lecture, I know. All right, so that's yoga. Yoga is about you. It's about communing with yourself and your soul and your heart and everything that you want from life. Okay, so typically when you start a yoga practice, you're going to start by coming to a comfortable seat on the mat. If sitting down like this is not your jam, feel free to grab a folding chair or a couch and sit your booty down on that. Totally fine, okay? We're just tuning in right now. If you are sitting down on the mat, crisscross applesauce like I am, I would highly recommend that you sit on top of a pillow. I have a meditation pillow underneath me to give me a little bit of elevation. I'm also going to pull my flesh out of the way, right? I've got a booty, I've got thighs and a belly. I need to make space for my body, right? So I'm going to make sure I'm right on top of my sits bones. So I've got a nice natural curve in my lower back, and that my knees are lower than my hips. So this is easeful, right? If I wasn't sitting on the pillow, I'd kind of be sitting like this. My belly wouldn't have as much room, and I'd be straining my lower back. So with the pillow, it just makes it a little more easy. That's what we want. So we're going to tune in typically how you begin a yoga class. So finding this easy pose, it's called Sukhasana, easy pose. You want to make sure that it's easy. So get comfy. Take a second, close your eyes, and just notice how you feel right now. Make any little adjustments you need to in order to feel comfortable. Maybe you don't cross your legs. Maybe you just put them out in front of you. That's totally fine as well. And we're just going to start to tune into our body and bring ourselves to the here and now, to this present moment as it's unfolding, right? Because how can we commune with ourselves and be in union with ourselves if we're thinking about the outside world, if we're thinking about our to-do list, or what we haven't done yet, right? So we just want to bring ourselves to right here, to right now, to our body, to our breath. Bring your attention to your breath, starting to notice every little detail about it, right? Notice if it is long or short breaths, if it's deep or shallow. Notice if you're breathing into your belly or to your chest. Notice if it feels tight or strained. Notice if it feels loose. Just become super familiar with your breath. Don't try to change it. Just notice. And this is where we start to bring in that no judgment thing, right? And no expectations. We're not trying to make our breath super long. And if it's like short and tight and a little uncomfortable, we're not judging it, okay? We're just letting it be as it is. And then go ahead, place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just start to notice how your hands rise and fall with the breath, right? Notice if you feel your hand on your chest moving more or the hand on your belly moving more. Again, not trying to change it. And perhaps see if you can feel your heartbeat through the palm of your hand. Can you feel it? Can you hear its rhythm? I like to think of it as our heart song. Excellent. Release your hands. Go ahead, start to rub them together, making a little bit of heat, rubbing the palms of your hands together. You can still keep your eyes closed. You don't need to watch me for this part. That's okay. We're just building some energy, some heat, some warmth. And then I want you to bring your hands to prayer mode, right at heart center. Press your palms in together. And go ahead, connect your thumbs to your sternum. So hands are in prayer, palms equally pressing into one another. It's just a slight pressure. It's not like hulking out or anything. Thumbs connected to the sternum. Keep the eyes closed and soft. Notice what you're feeling. And exhale, release the hands. Well done. Go ahead and open up your eyes. That's a typical way to tune in, right? You bring your attention to your body, to your breath. You put away all those other distractions and you just bring yourself to what you're feeling right now. And we're going to be doing that a lot throughout this entire class. Oh, and there's my little kitty. That's Astrid. She's my little baby. I love her so much. And she's probably going to knock shit over. And anyways, she's going to be loud. That's Astrid. All right, so let's talk about pranayama, okay? Pranayama is the practice of breath control or breath exercise. Prana means life force, that which gives you life, and breath gives you life. Yama is control. Before there were poses and handstands and headstands and crazy balances on one foot, there was breath, right? The poses came thousands of years later. Breath control came first. It's so important, right? Deep belly breath, right? Full breaths, using your entire lung capacity, right? Typically, when we're going throughout our day, we're only using just a small percentage of our lung capacity, right? But in yoga, we actively and intentionally use the entire lung. We fill the whole lung up, even the bottom of the lungs, with air. And it is nurturing and nourishing, right? We are infusing our body with oxygen, which is just so wonderful for our health. It's lowering our blood pressure and it's activating our parasympathetic nervous system response, okay? That's the response where we release anxiety, we release fear, and we come to this balanced, neutral state. That's what we want. Yoga helps us find equanimity and neutrality, and that's where we want to be. We don't want to be in that fight, flight, or freeze mode that like, oh, we want to be in the calm, chilled out, like relaxed state. It's a wonderful way to walk through life, let me tell you. So pranayama, my friends, if you don't do any of the poses, just focus on deep, full, complete breaths. Pranayama. All right, so let's get started and do some poses. Poses in yoga are called asanas, A-S-A-N-A. And the first pose we're going to do is cat and cow. So we're going to come into tabletop, hands and knees. And if you want, you can take your blanket and lay it on the mat for cushion. It's entirely up to you. That'll be a nice cushion for your joints, for your knees. We want to take care of those, just like so. And if this isn't working out for you today, if this is too much on your knees, you're welcome to stand up, find a chair, and just put your hands on top of the bottom of the seat, just like this. And you're still going to get the same like effects and same intention of the pose. So wherever you are, I want you to take a second and make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips, okay? And I'm just gonna tuck this in a little bit so you can see my belly moving. Now, make sure your fingertips are facing the top of your mat. Make sure they're spread out, okay? And I want you to imagine that someone is stretching your spine. okay? Imagine someone is pulling your head forward and pulling your tailbone back. So they're stretching your spine, making it nice and long. And I want you to press through your hands, press through the pads of your fingers, press through the heels of your hands. So that way your shoulders are engaged. We don't want to be sunken in here. We want to be nice and fully engaged. And the last bit of this is I want you to draw your belly button into your spine so we're fully supported. This is tabletop. Right, nice long spine, pressing through the hands, navel drawn in. And then let's just start to breathe. Breathe in and out through the nose. Feel your belly move as you're breathing here, right? Feel your belly drop. Fill with air, and then feel it kind of contract as you exhale. And we're gonna move into our cow asana. So we're going to inhale, connect the breath with the movement. So inhale, drop your belly down, and I want you to lift your gaze and your heart up. So the booty goes up, eyes go up, belly goes down. And now I want you to inhale and round your back like you're a cat. Press through your hands, just like this. And then inhale, drop the belly all the way down, lift the gaze, open the heart, and exhale, tuck your tailbone, press through your hands, middle of your spine all the way up, just like a kitty cat. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back, tuck your tailbone, press through the hands. And inhale, drop the belly. Open the heart, lift the gaze, and exhale, round the back. Just like a string's attached to the middle of your back, pulling you up. Exhale, drop the belly. Excuse me. Inhale here, and exhale, round the back. Inhale to cow, and exhale to cat. So just keep moving here, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat at your own pace, knowing that we're warming up the spine and the hips. Beautiful. Excellent. Go ahead, tuck your toes if you're on the mat. If you're not on the mat, if you're standing, just stay right where you are. Kind of lean back, sit your hips back, stretch the feet just a little bit. It's also giving our wrists a little bit of a break. Go ahead, flip the wrists over so you can stretch them out. And then what we're gonna do is move into child's pose, okay? So if you're standing on your chair, go ahead, join us on the floor. We're gonna widen the knees, touch the toes together, and sit your hips back, okay? Knees are nice and wide to make room for the belly. Go ahead, adjust if you need to. And we're gonna lower our chest down to the mat. Now, I like to put all of my weight on my elbows. That way, my arms aren't straight forward and I'm not just like putting strain on my shoulders. Like this is too difficult for me. So I like to bend my elbows, bring them in a little bit, and rest most of my weight on my elbows. Okay? So heart and head are releasing down to the mat. The booty is going back. The arms are kind of forward. We're just going to close our eyes. We're going to try to take a nice deep breath here. In and out through the nose. Remember I said pranayama is so important in yoga. So breathing when you're in these poses is so crucial. So inhale. Exhale. And something to keep in mind that the inhale is just as important as the exhale, right? They're both equally important. So a full, complete inhale and a full, complete exhale. So really blow out all the air you've got inside you. Excellent. Okay, let's shift forward onto our belly. Take your time. There's no rush. And adjust the boobs as you need to. Adjust the belly. So I want you to put the tops of your feet down on the floor and your hands next to your chest. And we're not pressing into the floor with our hands. They're just kind of resting here, okay? And I want you to keep your forehead down so your spine is in line, right? We don't want your neck to be up or turned or anything. Just keep the head in line with the spine. And what we're going to do is press into the tops of your feet so your knees lift up. Draw your belly button into your spine. We're just going to inhale, slowly lift the gaze ever so slightly, just a little bit. Okay? Remember, we're not pressing into our hands here. We're just lightly lifting. And then we're going to lower. Okay? So inhale, lift just a few inches off the floor. Exhale, lower. Make sure you're pressing into the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift. And stay here for a moment. Take a minute and notice if your shoulders are up near your ears. If they are, bring them away from your ears. Draw the belly button in. Press to the tops of your feet. Breathe deeply. This is baby cobra, and it's wonderful for your postural muscles, right? Your spinal muscles. It's also great for your abdomen, your core work. And go ahead, lower down. Woo! Bring your forehead to your hands. Let your heels kind of fall out and toes in. It's almost like you're pigeon-toed. And just relax your buttocks for a second. Relax your glute muscles. Maybe give a little shake, a little waddle, a little wiggle. And breathe deeply. Feel your lower back relax. Excellent. Okay, let's come back up to tabletop. So put your hands underneath your shoulders. Come on up to tabletop. We're going to move into downward facing dog. I'm sure you all have seen this many times, but I'm still going to walk you through it. So wrists are still underneath the shoulders. Knees are still underneath the hips. We're still lengthening through the spine. The navel is drawn in. We're pressing through the hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn ourselves into an upside down V. Okay? So tuck your toes, press through your hands, and send your hips up and back. Okay? So send the booty back, press through those hands, and bend your knees. Okay? So it's like a funky little upside down V. All right? So we've got our knees bent, the booty's going back and up. It's more important that the booty goes back and up than the heels touching the mat. I'd rather have your butt up and your heels up, okay, than your butt down and your heels down. Press through the fingertips, press through the hands, bend those knees, keep them soft, and let's just start to bend one knee at a time. This is a hard pose, downward facing dog. It takes a lot of strength, so it's okay if you need to take a break. If you want to lower your knees and come into child's pose, you're welcome to do that. What I'm doing right now is called walking the dog. Go ahead and lower your knees to the floor. Press back into that child's pose, so nice wide knees. Take a little rest here. That was our first inversion, right? Very serious inversions. We're upside down. Hard work, I get it. So take a little break, okay? I do want to show you if doing downward facing dog on the mat is just not your jam. Find a chair. Send the booty back, reach the arms forward, and you can bend the knees like this. You're still going to get the benefits of the pose, okay? All right, we're going to press back up into downward facing dog. So come back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, press through the hands, back to down dog. And take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, send the booty back. We want the tailbone up to the ceiling. See if you can find a little bit of stillness here. Remember, you're always welcome to go right back to child's pose. Inhale, bend both your knees. Exhale, straighten them out as much as you can. Feel that stretch up the back leg. Oh, it's so good. Okay, we're gonna walk our feet forward to the top of the mat. And what I want you to do is press through your hands, look at your hands, widen your feet, make them wider than the mat, and walk them up to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Okay? So make sure your feet are nice and wide. We want to have room for the belly, so adjust the belly if you need to. Bend your knees, and you can also bring your hands to your props if that feels good. Okay? So we've got soft knees, wide feet, and we're just folding forward, almost like we're a puppet. Okay? Draping the torso over the thighs, letting the head hang, letting the shoulders hang. Breathing as best we can here. And then use your hands to walk up your legs nice and slow. Really take your time. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Woo. And just take a breath. So that's a pretty common transition in yoga. So I just want to show that to you one more time. I'm just going to move the blanket out of the way for a moment. Just watch this for a moment. So I'm in down dog, right? My booty's going back. I'm pressing through my hands. My knees are soft. I'm going to inhale, look at my hands, press through my hands, widen my feet, wider than the mat, to walk up. And then make space for forward fold, right? If I don't widen my feet, then my belly gets in the way and it's really difficult. So make your feet wide. Okay, so from here, we're gonna come into Tadasana. Sorry, one moment. I'm just gonna adjust this. I think my cat moved this a little bit. Oh, it's fine, friends. Okay, so coming up to the top of your mat, keep your feet hip width distance apart or just a little bit wider. Okay, and I want you to focus on having all four corners of your feet connected to the floor, right? Equal weight distribution. Tuck your booty under, draw your navel in, open your chest up, shoulders are down, palms are facing front. Imagine that someone is stretching your spine, right? Imagine you've got a string attached to the top of your head and it's lifting you up, making your spine nice and long. And I want you to tuck your chin slightly. That way the back of your neck is also long. So we're here. And the last thing I want you to do is to engage 3 locks. Okay? The first lock is the root lock. The root lock, Muladhara Band. Can't talk today. And what that is you're going to squeeze all of your bathroom muscles, those Kegel muscles, and draw them in and up into your navel. And you're going to draw your navel in because that's the second lock. So everything's squeezing, drawing in and up. So we're engaged in the core, engaged in those bathroom muscles. Our chin is slightly tucked, and that's the neck lock. So we've got the root lock, those bathroom muscles squeezing in and up, the navel lock, the belly button drawing in, and the throat lock, the nice elongated neck. This is Tadasana, or mountain pose. This is sturdy, steady, strong, immovable. Imagine if you stood like this every single day. How powerful would you feel? Nice and strong, fully engaged. keep breathing. Take a nice deep breath in. And relax. Well done. It's an active pose, right? You're not just standing, you are placed. You are strong. If someone tried to push you over, you wouldn't budge. That's how strong you are. All right, so moving on, I'm gonna walk you through what is known as a Vinyasa, okay? And all it means is it's a set of poses that have been strung together in a specific order. Okay, so it's like pose A, pose B, pose C. And with these poses, there's specific breath patterns that you need to focus on and connect with, okay? So the first one, find that Tadasana, that very strong, engaged mountain pose. And I want you to inhale, reach your arms all the way out and up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Stay here. Keep those fingertips lifting up as high as you can. Maybe lift your gaze ever so slightly. Keep your navel drawn in. Okay? And next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold forward, and I want you to exhale as you fold forward. Hands can come all the way down to your blocks or to the floor. You can keep those feet a little bit wider. Make room for the belly. And from here, we're gonna come into a flat back. So you're gonna raise up a little bit. We're gonna inhale here, almost like we're doing tabletop, but your hands can be on your blocks. They can be on the highest height, the middle height. They can be on your shin. They can be on the floor if you're a little bit more flexible that way. Wherever feels best for you. I want a nice, long, stretched spine with the crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. You can keep your knees soft. Breathe here, don't hold your breath. And when I do this, I feel the stretch all up my back leg. And that's what you want to feel. You want to feel the stretch up the back of your knees, the hamstrings, the buttocks. And then I want you to exhale and fold forward once more. Bend those knees, let the head hang. And then pressing through your feet, I want you to inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale, just bring your hands back down to mountain pose or Tadasana. Boom, that's your first Vinyasa. Well done. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Just watch this. We start in Tadasana. We inhale the arms up. We exhale, dive down, fold forward. We inhale to half lift or flat back. We exhale and fold forward. We inhale the arms up. And we exhale, hands down to Tadasana. Excellent. So we're doing a lot there. We're focusing on alignment and how long our spine is. We're focusing on the breath. We're inhaling at a certain time. We're exhaling at a certain time. It's a lot to think of, and it's really challenging your brain, but it's a good thing, right? So let's try it all together. This is what I like to call a half sun salute, because it's half of a sun salute, or Surya Namaskar. We'll get to that. That's a couple classes from now. So find that Tadasana and inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down, fold forward, make room for the belly. Inhale to half lift, that flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down, Tadasana. It's like choreography, right? Okay, we're gonna do that one more time, and I really want you to focus on the breath this time. Really focus on making it as deep and as full of an inhale and as complete as an exhale as you possibly can, okay? Take in as much air as you can, blow out as much air as you can, and try to sync it up with the movements, okay? Here we go. Find your Tadasana. Oh, my little cord's coming out. Here we go. We're just going to tuck her back under there. Okay, fully engaged. Standing up tall, all those three locks engaged. Root lock, bathroom muscles. Navel lock, draw that belly button in. throat lock, neck lock. So just tuck the chin slightly, and let's begin. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, flat back. Hands can be on your blocks or not. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down, Tadasana. Well done, shake it out. Nicely done, friends. So good. Okay, let's move on. We're almost done, y'all. You're doing fabulous. So, find that Tadasana one more time. Bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to do a little warrior pose here. So I want you to inhale and step that right foot back to a nice high lunge. Okay, high lunge. And I want you to make sure that your knee, your front knee is right over your ankle. So take a look down, make sure it's right on top of it, not past it to the side of it, right on top of it. And that back heel is up off of the mat. I want you to imagine that someone's pulling the back heel away from your body, okay? Everything's squared off to the front of your mat. We've got a nice bend in that front knee. Your navel is drawing in towards your spine. Your chest is open, your shoulders are down. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. In and out through the nose. Very powerful. Inhale. Exhale. Keep breathing as you feel your legs working, right? It's not just your thighs, it's your stability muscles, right? Your stabilizing muscles in the back of the ankle, in the knee, in the front ankle, right? We're really working those muscles, helping to build that strength there. All right, stay where you're at, keep your navel drawn in, and take your arms up to a V. Make sure your shoulders aren't up near your ears, but rather down. This is hard work. Breathe through it, loves. You can do this. We're only going to be here for a little bit. Hands are in a V. This is called crescent lunge, high crescent lunge, but I like to use this in place of warrior one. It's a little more easier. Breathe, and then bring your hands down to your hips. Send your heart forward and step up. Woo! Ooh, you can feel the muscles working, can't you? Let's switch sides. Stand up nice and tall. Keep that navel in, right? Keeping the abdominal muscles engaged is going to help you with the balance, right? So you don't fall over. You can also put your hand against a wall or have a chair nearby and use that to help you balance. There's no right or wrong way, right? You do what works for you. Standing up nice and tall, and inhale, step the left foot back. Nice high lunge here. Front knee is bent, knee is over the ankle. Back leg is reaching back. You're on the toe with the heel up off the mat. Chest is wide, shoulders are down, navel is in. Breathe, deep breaths into the belly. Inhale. Exhale. This is how we build the strength and the stamina to get up to moving through all the warrior poses. Keep breathing. If you're shaking, if you feel your ankles kind of wobbling, that's magic, right? That's your muscles working, building, growing, getting stronger. Oh, that's the best part. Breathe. And swoop those arms up to a nice wide V. Keep the shoulders low. Breathe. Soften your face. Make sure you're not scrunching your brows or tightening your jaw. Relax it. Bring your hands to your hips and step on up. Woo, shake those legs out. Nicely done. Okay. Shake the shoulders, shake the wrist. Do a little twerk. It's up to you. All right, we're gonna do one more balance, and then we're gonna start our cool down. If you want, you can ditch the gloves if you're wearing gloves. Okay, so we're gonna do some tree pose, all right? And thinking about balancing, right? I talked a little bit about the shaking of the muscles. That's those stabilizing muscles working and growing and getting stronger. So that's when you know you're doing it right. Okay, I shake all the time. So to start for tree pose, put your hands on your hips. Find that Tadasana, right? Equal weight on the feet, tailbones tucked under, belly buttons drawn in, chest is wide, shoulders are down, hands on your hips, okay? And I want you to find a focal point straight ahead of you, or what we call drishti, your gaze, okay? Focus on it. And I want you to draw everything in and up. Squeeze those bathroom muscles, draw the navel in, straighten the spine, really lengthen it and stretch it. And we're just gonna start by shifting our weight over to the right and picking up the knee. Just balancing here like this for a second. Feel the ankle, notice how it feels. And then lower the foot down. And let's shift to the other side. Shift to the left, pick up that right knee. Breathe, keep the navel drawn in, focus, and lower the foot down. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna switch to the tree pose itself. And before we do it, I just wanna make sure that your foot comes connected either to your calf or above the knee, okay? So not on the knee. This is gonna put pressure on the knee joint. So either below the knee or above the knee. It could be like this, it could be like this, or above the knee, which I can't do because hello thighs, okay? So find that Tadasana, get your base, get your grounding done. Find that drishti, that gaze, that focal point. Squeeze everything in and up. Spine is long. Shift your weight over to the right. Pick up that left leg. Take the knee out to the side and attach the foot to the leg, above or below the knee. The knee is wide, hands on your hips, and we're just gonna balance here in tree pose. Breathe. If you need to rest your hand on a wall or a chair, feel free to do that. Breathe. And go ahead, lower the foot down. Nice job, friends. We're building up to it, right? We're doing all the little stepping stones to get us to where we're consistent. We have that stamina and strength. Find that Tadasana. Nice and tall, engaged, drawn in and up, long spine. And shift your weight over to the left, pick up that right knee, take it out to the side and attach the foot to the leg. It's almost like you're making the number 4 with your leg. Breathe, don't hold the breath. And go ahead, relax, lower the foot. Ooh, nice job. Circle the ankles, circle the wrists. Ooh, shake it out a little bit. Ooh. I always love a good shimmy. And let's make our way down onto child's pose. Take your time, there's no rush. Wide knees, toes are touching, sit those hips back. Woo. Surrender the heart and the head down to the mat. Weight can be on your elbows. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Oh, see if you can relax here. See if you can just give way a little bit. Child's pose is one of the most beneficial poses you could ever do. Anytime you're feeling stressed, anxious, worried, or concerned, just come into child's pose and breathe. It's as simple as that. Right. We're lowering the blood pressure, activating that parasympathetic response, that calm, peaceful, serene feeling. We're making it easier for our heart to pump the blood. We're just calm and chill. Relax your face. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. And go ahead, rise on up with your hands and gently make your way onto your back. Keep your knees bent. Make sure your shoulder blades are on the floor. And I want you to see if you can make sure that your lower back is connected to the earth, right? If you're like me, you've got a butt and you lay down like this, ooh, whoops. It just arches my lower back and it hurts it. I hate it. So keep the knees bent. Lower back connected to the earth. Maybe just sway your knees from side to side, giving your back a little bit of a massage. Close your eyes. This is the cool down process of a yoga class, right? We did all of that active work, that pranayama, that breath practice. We did the stretching, we did the moving, we did the balancing and the stabilizing, and now we get to rest and we get to allow our body to kind of soak up all that beautiful work we just did. Okay. From here, go ahead, draw your knees into your chest. And you can widen the knees and make space for the belly here. And hands can be on the tops of your knees or underneath your knees if that feels good for you. If this doesn't work for you, just keep your feet bent with your feet on the mat, knees bent with your feet on the mat. That's fine. Just make sure both your shoulder blades are on the ground. And we're just breathing here. This is called wind relieving pose. If you're ever like a little constipated or having trouble farting, passing wind, come into this pose. Breathe here and it'll come out. Don't worry. Excellent. Go ahead, lower the feet down. And next, and how most yoga classes are ended is with Shavasana, or corpse pose, final resting pose. And I'm going to give you a couple of options for how to do corpse pose. So perhaps this works for you. It does not work for me, but typically corpse pose is practiced on your back with your feet straight out, separated, and your palms of your hands open to the ceiling, just kind of laying flat like this, like a corpse. Okay, this is so uncomfortable for me, but it might be heaven for you. So if this works for you, come here. If you've got a booty like me, I like to use a bolster or pillows, or even the blocks that I have I can put under my knees for a little elevation. And it might take some figuring out and getting used to, discovering what works best for you. But with my knees a little elevated, my lower back can connect to the floor. Oh, and this is much more comfortable. You can also go lay down on a couch or lay down on a bed. You can drape a blanket over you. You can put a pillow underneath your head. You can turn off the lights. Just take this moment to get really comfortable. Wherever you are. And I'm going to walk you through the process of preparing yourself for Shavasana, right? Shavasana is just as important as all that wonderful movement and breath we just did. This is just as important as that, right? We want to let our body soak up the beautiful breath work, strength work that we just did. So start by closing the eyes. And let's soften the face. Make sure your brows aren't tense, your cheeks are relaxed. Close the lips of your mouth, separate your teeth, and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Just let it fall down. Soften the jaw. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale, relax the shoulder blades. Let them melt into the earth. Let them be heavy. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Full deep breaths. Allow your arms to feel heavy and your low back to sink into the earth or your couch, wherever you are. If your glute muscles are clenched, relax them. Soften the thighs and the backs of the knees, the calves and your ankles. Allow everything to melt. Rest and relax. And just know that you have done everything you came here to do. And there is nothing left for you to do but to rest here in Shavasana. And you can stay here until I tell you to come out. Don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you here. Just rest. Soak up the work you did. And I encourage you to let your mind go where it goes. Don't try to control your thoughts. Just let them be what they are. No judgment. No expectations. Just be here with this yoga. Shavasana. Okay, slowly starting to deepen your breath. Nice, big, full belly breaths, bringing your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to the here and now. Starting to bring a little bit of movement into your fingertips and your toes, circling the wrists, circling the ankles, maybe stretching however feels good for you, reaching your arms above head. And wherever you are, gently make yourself to roll over and lay down on one side. It could be the left side or the right side, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Let your hands be a pillow. Just draw your knees into your chest. Keep your eyes closed. And breathe. And taking your time, make your way up into Sukhasana, or that easy pose, how we began this practice. We're going to seal this practice together and close it out in Sukhasana. So get comfy, sit on top of a pillow, sit on a chair or a couch, and then bring your hands back to prayer mudra, or it's called prana mudra. Lightly pressing into the palms, thumb connected to the sternum, keep the eyes closed. And I'd encourage you to just take a moment and thank yourself. Thank yourself for taking the time and creating the space for you to practice yoga today. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful gift you gave yourself. And to seal the practice, we typically say namaste, which means I bow to you. I bow to your inner light that resides within you, which is the same inner light that resides within me, right? It's acknowledging your teacher, it's acknowledging the student, those who came before you. It's a really beautiful way to say I honor you and I bow you. I see you. I respect you. And I like to bring my hands in prayer up to my third eye. I like to put my thumbs on my third eye in between my brows. And that's when I say namaste. So let's go ahead and close this out. Typically what I will say is the light and love that reside within me honor and bow to that very same light and love that resides within each of you. Namaste. And then it's traditional for a little bow. And then come up. And that's it. That's the end of class. You did it. Well done. You began. You started. Good for you. I hope to see you again soon. You're welcome to rewatch this video as many times as you need to in order to get comfortable, to be confident, and then you can move on to the next video. It's really up to you. Thank you so much for trusting me and joining me today on this journey. Thank you for giving yourself this gift. Truly, it's a gift, and I'm so grateful for it, and I just want to share it with all of you. Thanks so much.